All right, wow, welcome back, guys. We got another Red Dead part here for you. This is going to be part number 86 now in our series. We're coming off a marathon video in our last one. It was over 2.5 hours, mostly covering, which one is it? I think it's American Dreams, which is the Stranger Mission, involving the serial killer, the murderer. We investigated all 3 crime scenes. Really, it was a touch of LA Noire here in Red Dead 2, but we solved the case, finished up a couple things here and there. We're still kind of pushing to maintain our character's health better, and our horse's health at that as well. We've been trying to stress that over the last couple of videos. We still have some exciting stuff lined up outside of the story as we continue in this one. The John exclusive Stranger Mission, we should be able to finally begin today. That involves Evelyn Miller. We'll talk a little bit about that in a second. That's a name that's come up a number of times throughout the story. So we'll see what that Stranger Mission has in store for us. We also have to finish up our first treasure map, see through our first treasure map here. So we collected both pieces of the Hermit treasure maps. It becomes the Mended treasure map, and now we have to take that treasure map and try and locate the treasure. I did cheat a little bit on this one. I know the general location of the treasure. I'll pull up the map here in a second. But it's going to force us to go down to the New Austin region. New Austin is an area that we really haven't explored much, as we can see here. And there's a couple of things I want to touch on in New Austin outside of going to collect the treasure for this treasure map. I want to go to McFarland's Ranch. I want to go see what's going on with people there. We received a letter addressed to Bonnie McFarland in our last video when we were out in the Annisburg region from a supposed lover. So I want to go there and see if anything comes of that. Also Armadillo. We've heard lots about Armadillo. Not all great things at all so far. So that might be a cool place to check out and see what is going on. I think the treasure we need to find is just a little bit west of good old Armadillo. So I was originally going to go and do all this New Austin stuff first, but because I'm in Valentine, I'm pretty close to the John exclusive Stranger Mission, so it might be worth it to jump into that first here to start off. There's a couple other little small things. We still have some of those stagecoach robbery, the coach tip opportunities. I know that it will lower my honor doing those, but I think that there are really some unique missions there. So that's something I mentioned earlier, that I wanted to play poker as well, play some table games. I've really ignored that section of the game for a while, and I just kind of want to get back into it and have some fun for a little bit. And also the Ties That Bind as well. We have the opportunity to finish that set of Stranger Missions with Mr. Black and Mr. White. We've done some parts of this Stranger Mission twice because it kind of reset when we started over again as John Marston. I'm not overly excited. It doesn't really overly excite me, that Stranger Mission, because it kind of turned me off having to do stuff twice with that mission, having to kind of start some of it over again as John. But we'll see what we can do. I'm not going to make that a priority in this video, but those are just some side things that we could explore outside of what I mentioned off the top. So let's go to the John exclusive Stranger Mission. Watch, I promise you I won't be able to find it now. No, I'm pretty sure it's over here. We're in Valentine right now. 3:26 a.m., so kind of the middle of the night here. Core-wise, it looks like I'm doing okay. Although I will probably want to eat something soon. I've been trying, and I think we've made strides in the right direction. I think I'm learning a little bit more. Although I'm just learning how to maintain my character now in the epilogue. You'd think I would have maybe tried to master that in, I don't know, chapter 1 or 2. Really, this has been a blind first playthrough of this game, though, and I think we've done well, and we've really done a lot of things. I mean, we haven't done everything, and I'm definitely not going to be a completionist with this one, but we've sort of seen almost everything that the game has to offer at least once, especially with most unique random encounters. We've done, as far as I know, the vast majority of Stranger Mission streams. We've done a lot of them. We've attempted a lot of the side stuff at least once or twice, so we kind of have an idea of what the game has to offer in most areas anyways. Somewhere in our 86 videos of chaos, you'll find what you're looking for.
Whoa, easy.
Told me to go a slightly different way here, but I'm gonna stick with my gut on this one. This is the Downs Ranch. I don't know if you remember, but Thomas Downs was the man that Arthur beat and subsequently got TB from. So that was their place just back there, obviously in the same relative area as where our very first camp at the Horseshoe Overlook was. Wonder how Edith is doing. I'm sure that's a character that you can check up on. We got her out though, did we not? I'm pretty sure we at least tried to get her and her son out of Annisburg, I believe it was the last time that we ran into those two, and they really played into the story quite a bit at the end there. Really throughout the whole story. The Downs kind of have an underlying significance. It took me a while to really recognize the importance that the Downs characters have on the theme, outcomes, fortunes, and misfortunes of the story. Crucial role, especially Thomas and Edith. Not so much their son, but this particular Stranger Mission, though, involves Evelyn Miller. Now, Evelyn Miller is a beloved author, really an icon during this time period in the West. Well respected by Dutch. I think we were in Dutch's tent a couple times throughout the story, and we might have even picked it up, but he owns a couple of Evelyn Miller's books, one at least that I know of. and you can pick them up and read excerpts from it. But Dutch really likes Evelyn Miller as a person. Really believes in what Evelyn Miller stands for. A lot to do with freedom and almost a policy maker, a policy founder during this time period. He was really an important figure. I believe the backstory with Evelyn Miller is that he taught at Princeton, I think it's Princeton University, so really a highly intellectual individual. Hopefully I'm doing justice for Evelyn here in trying to describe him. We actually met Evelyn Miller in the main story as well. So down in Saint-Denis, I think it was either Angelo Bronte's party or at Henry Lemieux's house, the mayor of Saint-Denis. It was at some big high-up function that we went to, and we were introduced to Evelyn Miller. And he is actually the character that introduces us ultimately to Rains Fall and Eagle Flies. And he's the one that gets us to try and steal the documents from Leviticus Cornwall, where they're trying to get the natives to move off the land. That was a mission towards the end of the game when we really started to work hands-on a lot with the reservation. So we are familiar with Evan Miller. I just wanted to touch on him a little bit and kind of refresh your memory a little bit. I mean, that's it. Outside of that, we don't really know a lot about Evelyn Miller. I think he makes an appearance potentially in the first game. I know I saw a screenshot of him from Red Dead Undead Nightmare. A lot of time has passed. I mean, we met Evelyn Miller as Arthur, and now we're just going to be running into him now, like 8 years later, as John. So we'll kind of see how far along he has come. I believe there's a newspaper article as well of importance regarding Evelyn Miller resigning from his position. I can't remember what his exact... I guess resigning as a professor? I don't think that's what he was doing currently, though, when we met him. I think that was more of his background. Anyways, this is it. The American Inferno, Burnt Out. I'm not exactly sure what's going to come of this, where this is going to go. Again, very highly respected by Dutch. Dutch often quoted Evelyn Miller. I think Dutch and Evelyn Miller really kind of shared the same views on a lot of things. This is probably going to be like a 4 or 5 part Stranger mission, I would imagine, at least. So, the plan is to just kind of get it started here, and then kind of work away at it. This is, as far as I know, the only John exclusive Stranger mission, so obviously this mission cannot be accessed by Arthur. Had some difficulty finding it. I think you've got to be very close to it for the icon to appear on the map, but thank you once again for all the help from my viewers in being able to track down this kind of content.
Yes, indeed.
You can hear someone talking just up here on top of this little cliff.
Well, well.
Quite a view.
Uh-huh. You know, this landscape, these views, this America, it holds us tight. And once we've seen it, we'll never know ignorance again.
Maybe.
It is that beauty, which really is the eternal beauty that is truth. This is God. Not the proof, but the thing. Not his work, but him. Wonderment is our morphine, I suppose. All us Americans dream of places. They are our God. Our dreams. Us, perhaps.
I suppose.
Forgive my crude naivete, but are you a cowboy, sir?
Not really. Kind of.
I am that most worthless of all creatures. A writer. A second guesser of our creator. A dreamer of others' dreams.
Okay.
Evelyn Miller.
Evelyn Miller? A man I knew. He was a great lover of your books.
Thank you. But you're not?
Most went a little over my head, I'm afraid, but some of the bits he read stuck with me.
I'm a terrible fraud, sir. Your friend was deceived. I am God's blithe plaything. And what a feeble game he has begun in me.
My mentor never saw things quite like that.
You know, I used to write in a study and teach at a university. I taught some Connecticut fops how best to appreciate their topiary. I was a gilded ape. I loathe the man I was. The man I am.
Guess we all live with certain ways of coping with what we've done in this life.
I enjoyed our conversation. There's a truth in you, sir, a rare truth. Treasure it. I'm living in a cabin over near Tanner's Reach. Come by sometime. Maybe we might talk some more.
Maybe I shall.
Good day.
So John and Evelyn are not particularly familiar with each other. They may have met in passing or been in the same place at the same time kind of thing while working with the gang and being in Saint-Denis. But Evelyn probably knows a lot of people. I don't even know if he would remember Arthur and Dutch. I mean, I think we only met him the one time in Saint-Denis, even as Arthur.
All right, my boy.
Just funny that in the swan song here with John Marston at the end of the game, he happens to come across Evelyn Miller, who was so well liked by Dutch and had an acquaintanceship with Arthur anyways. Small world indeed. So he has offered to meet us at Tanner Ranch. Not entirely sure where that is just yet, but we have some exploring to do for the time being anyways. So let's make McFarland's Ranch our goal to get to right here. I had a feeling that the Stranger mission this particular set, typically the first one, a lot of times is just a conversation like we just had there, where you kind of are introduced to the stranger, get some background information.
Light the fires! We got one!
Oh, it's the, oh man, Skinner Bros again or whatever.
Ready, boy?
Deliver this pilgrim! Faster!
Oh man.
Easy.
I think Clutch kind of got the worst of that one there. I thought it was just the two guys at first with the bow and arrow, and then realized I had a couple guys chasing me down there as well with some rifles. So that could have been a very scary situation. But nonetheless, we'll continue. Yeah, I'm not sure. He said Tanner Ranch. So let me, typically an icon will, I figured it would probably be in and around, the area that we found him, which is technically, I think, the Tall Trees region. The Tall Trees region is around here anyways. Yeah, there's Tall Trees. And we found him like right here. So I think there is his cabin should be around here somewhere, I think. Hopefully I am able to make a stop maybe at Armadillo. This is Manzanita Post.
Maybe the roads are getting tougher.
I wonder why they call this area the Tall Trees region. That was sarcasm at its finest, folks. I think I used that one in one of my last streams, though. So we're getting a little stale here. I need some new lines. I need some new one-liners. Get the list started. So the rest of the stream is really primarily gonna go towards just kind of exploring, especially opening up some of this map into New Austin. I just kind of assumed that the epilogue would take me into New Austin more than it has. I'm not saying that there aren't missions coming up that won't do that, but I have reason now to kind of come into the New Austin region and do a little bit of exploring between the Bonnie McFarlane letter and this treasure map. So now let's pull off to the side here. I'll feed my horse. I'll see if I can maybe feed myself here real quick. We'll take a little bit of a break. So this is the mended map. 2 pieces of the male hermit had a piece of the map, and the female hermit. They were both on opposite sides of the main map. So I think the female hermit was just up north here a little bit, up here I believe, and the male hermit was just a little bit north of the Annisburg region. Anyways, we put both of those pieces of the map together. This is what we get. And supposedly this is in the New Austin region. So once we open up a little bit more of the map, hopefully we'll be able to see a little bit better. It looks to me like those are borders, kind of consistent with what we see as state lines, or the kind of the border lines of the map. So in New Austin, we'd be looking at like this. So I really want to go around the edges of the map and really kind of explore the perimeter, and then maybe work my way in a little bit here. Nonetheless, we just got to explore. I don't think we need to get too specific with how that's going to happen. I've had trouble with these treasure maps before. I've been told to not use what I find with this treasure map to get an idea of what all of the treasure maps have to offer, because I guess this particular treasure is not representative of, some of the other rewards that can be received through following treasure maps. Whether or not I do more treasure maps, I don't know, still kind of up in the air. I'm considering it, along with, more coach robberies and stuff like that. But this is kind of the OG treasure map that I found in the game. We found lots of treasure maps, but this is really the first one that I've kind of actively tried to search for. And by actively searching, I mean Google location of treasure, torn treasure maps. No, I wanted to get an idea, because to be honest with you, if you were to look at this map, this is your first time playing this game, and you're coming blindly into this, and this is the map that you get. This is the information that I have to go off. How on earth would you be able to tell where the hell that is? That's why I needed a little bit of a tip. Call me a cheater, call me what you like, but I prefer the term smart man. This is all really kind of new, uncharted territory. McFarlane's Ranch is a location you may be familiar with. You start the original Red Dead Redemption in this location. I think Bonnie McFarlane ends up helping John kind of get back on his feet or whatever. I'm not quite sure exactly how the story is set up coming into the first one, but even though, I may not have played that first game in a long time, every time I come into this part of the map, there's always a level of familiarity.
I'm looking for my friend.
Slow
Gavin.
now.
Gavin,
You've got to be kidding me.
where the hell are you?
Alright, Gavin's searching friend is at it again.
Gavin?
There wasn't really anything story-wise that
Has anyone seen Gavin?
led us here. Gonna try and find the letter. A lost love letter found on a washed up corpse. Love letter to Bonnie. Yeah, this is the one.
An Englishman called Gavin.
I just wanted to kind of swing by this place, see who's around.
Morning.
Good morning, mister.
How's things going?
Pretty good.
You're one of the lucky ones.
Goodbye.
I thought maybe having received that letter now, it might spark something by coming to the ranch. There's lots of people around. We haven't officially met Bonnie at all yet, so I don't know even if I came across her, if I would recognize her, A, or B, if her name would actually come up with the subtitles, because like I said, we haven't really officially been introduced to her yet. I love that I'm just a strange man walking around their ranch and nobody cares. I'm just gonna try and talk to some people.
Hey, partner.
Howdy, sir.
You're doing quite a job there. Keep at it, partner.
You take care now.
You can get honor and whatnot from talking to people, so it doesn't hurt to get the lowdown from these people. Chris, I'm walking around. From a distance, it looks like I see tons of people, and then... Oh, hey, buddy.
You're a good dog.
That's a good doggy. Aww. Love the dogs of RD2. No doubter about her. Brings me back to those days playing Nintendogs. No, I'm just kidding. I swear to you, that was never a thing with me. Do you remember that Nintendogs? For the Nintendo DS, man, those were the days. Where you could own a dog without actually physically owning a dog. No 2-pound dump to pick up every night. What about Tamagotchis? Those were really the OG virtual pets, Tamagotchis. Christ, every time I feel like I'm walking towards somebody, I feel like they walk the other direction. It's a big ranch, but I don't really see anything happening. Let's talk to these couple guys here. Here's a rancher.
Hey, mister. Oh, just calm down.
He got pissed at me for no reason.
Oh, partner.
Hello.
I said hello, you dumb rock. Good God. Oh, behave.
You ain't right in the head.
Already making a great first impression here. I think that is actually Bonnie McFarlane. Oh, don't know why I'm ducking. Sitting on the porch over there. I don't know, we've heard some things about this place. Doesn't hurt to check it out, like I said. There's a couple cabins over here we will explore real quick. I don't know that I can necessarily go inside them. And it's locked. I assume the other buildings here are going to be locked as well. I hope the epilogue takes us here. I hope,
I'm looking for my mate Gavin. Somebody help me. Gav?
oh my god, it's another doggy! Come here, doggy!
I've lost my friend.
Hey, buddy!
Help me,
Where
please.
you going? Alright. Pretty sure that's Bonnie. I could be wrong. Lord knows, probably am.
Has
Oh, this door
anyone
opens.
seen Gavin?
I don't really want to steal things. I don't want to come into the cabin and start stealing stuff, but I was wondering if
I'm looking for Gavin.
maybe there was another note, something that could connect back to that letter that we
I
got.
mean, I lost it.
I guess it's supposed to provide some kind of a
One more
backstory
time, boy.
Really funny here.
to Bonnie McFarlane and the McFarlane Ranch in general. I just find it so weird that, you know, we come across this letter literally just north of Annisburg when we went to go get the other part of the Hermit treasure map. And it's just so weird that that letter to Bonnie McFarlane was on a dead corpse that washed ashore way up there, and, you know, her ranch is way down here, and kind of how did she really know that person? And I have a lot of questions, but we're gonna move on here. Doesn't look like there's anything really more for us to see here at McFarlane Ranch. The layout looks a little bit different than what I remember from the first game, although it is probably pretty identical. Some years pass, of course, between this game and the next, though. So let's head to Armadillo. We'll kind of continue our introductory exploration of New Austin. We have been this deep in New Austin before when we were working with Sadie Adler. She's obviously a bounty hunter now, and in the epilogue we completed some missions with her that brought us out to the New Austin region, particularly that dude that we were hunting. I remember looking down on him from high atop the cliff overlooking Armadillo. So we've been in this region like once before, I think, but that's it. And we only saw Armadillo from a distance. So now we'll kind of get a close-up look here. That's right, I remember. Okay, I remember from the first game, the McFarlane Ranch is kind of at the top of the hill of this state, if you will, and then there's a long kind of drop down towards the town of Armadillo. I remember that. And then Blackwater is kind of up here on the same level as the McFarlane Ranch. If you understand what I'm saying, Armadillo is kind of in this valley down below here. This is where we sat and looked down at Armadillo with Sadie Adler, I'm sure. Armadillo is a little bit further this way. There it is over there. And you can see this path will take you kind of all the way down. It's quite a ways down. Right, I remember this from the first game. I remember actually coming down this path many, many times to get to Armadillo. Crazy. I kind of remember this path up here as well. I'm going to take this across. I know I said we want to go down to Armadillo, but a big part of this is just opening up the map. Get that map open. The more I can see, the more we'll be able to figure out what the heck's going on. There may be more legendary animals that we come across, that we stumble across in the region. I don't mind getting them as I stumble across them. Okay, so we're kind of opening up the map here. I'm actually going back now. I don't want to go back too far that way. Actually, what's at the end of this road here? This is kind of a weird road.
Blow it.
Nothing really going on. We got some wild horses. Nothing of any significance. I saw a fire. Never hurts to check out the source of the fire. We're not really opening up a lot of the map just yet. We will, though, I assure you.
Stranger, unless you want me to leave your guts for the wolves. Scram, you!
Okay, okay. Ain't you serious? I thought it was a free country was all. This what you call work?
You enjoy yanking my chain? Your skull is about to see some sunshine.
Whoa. Got lucky there with Clutch. Whoa.
God damn it.
Oh no. Oh, thank God I have Horse Reviver. Oh man, I got a little cocky there for a second. Got a little cocky there for a second. I thought we were in the clear. Man, that's a long way down. I thought the worst was over. I thought, oh, look at that. Clutch handling the worst and most treacherous roads. And next thing you know, we fall 20 feet to the ground. Surprising thing there is that John landed like almost headfirst on a rock and he didn't die. That's pretty impressive in itself, man. I want somebody to go back and find all those funny clips of me falling and dying in strange and humorous ways and put them all together in a vid for me. Oh.
Hey, you ain't got no business being here.
Oh, yeah?
I'm sorry. Didn't realize you didn't like visitors. Yeah, you're funny, like a hole in the head. Hey, tough guy. I'll put a hole in your head. This is has to be. You hard or constipated? Ah, you're.
That was weird. I'll want to get out of here before anybody else comes down the road. I say as I decide to feed my horse.
Here you go.
So that guy that was getting angry at me killed this guy that was on the ground here. I came across, I saw the corpse on my map and was kind of wondering what was going on here. And then I saw this guy here. He didn't like me being around. He was obviously up to some sketchy stuff. So hopefully I was able to avenge this guy's death.
Here you go, boy.
You just never know with these random encounters. I lost a little bit of honor there. I'm not too worried about honor though. As far as I know, it should not. My honor with John Marston should not affect any outcomes towards the end of the game. It won't change much. You don't really have as much time with John to manipulate honor like the amount of time you had with Arthur. Obviously, I want John to have high honor. You know how long it took me in this game to figure out that that was called honor? I was probably told way back at the beginning, but I always just called it like you're good versus evil, or you're moral, or could never figure out what that bar at the bottom was, like what the official name for it was. You could probably go back and quote me in 100 streams, being like, oh yeah, that bar at the bottom. Honor. Good to know. Okay, so now we're kind of in the lowlands here.
Whoa there! Who's this? Hey, Lobos! There's a gringo here looking real pleased with himself. Let's kill this vaquero.
Oh, you gotta be so now we're obviously a lot closer to Mexico, being kind of down south here. New Austin, obviously kind of similar to Texas. You can see the desert area. We're pretty close to the border here, so we will probably encounter more of this gang, the Del Lobos gang, who's a Mexican-based gang, and Christ, can't even get within a couple 100 feet of Armadillo without them sniffing me out. Hey, the gringo! So that's Armadillo up there. I don't think it's a very well-off town here. I know we read a newspaper article about disease spreading within the town. What a beautiful area this is, though, I must say. Like, graphically riding out here has been astonishing. Those views, though, it truly is a pretty incredible area. Oh, shit. Damn, it's like a war zone here.
Hold your fire! Hold your fire! We're here, Sheriff, and we got the money. You're gonna bring him out? We rode a long way, and not just to shoot up the jailhouse. You don't want to disappoint us, Sheriff.
Bargain's bargain. Put your guns away.
I'm glad to see you're a man of your word. To us, at least.
Amigos míos, sabía que no me dejarían pudrirme
Such a
aquí.
happy reunion. Look, I should like my fun, gentlemen.
That's the problem, you see. We only pay persons who will continue to be useful.
So we had a bargain.
Now, we're ready.
Oh shoot, I was a little bit late there reacting to that situation. Oh man, what a thing to ride up on here in Armadillo. So at first I was unsure if I was even going to be allowed access to the town because I heard this shooting and it scared my horse. And I thought maybe that the town was in lockdown and they were shooting me as I was approaching the town. Then I realized that I was able to get a little bit closer and that was not the case. It looks like a freaking war zone here, like something that you'd see out of like pictures from Iraq or Afghanistan or something. Like it's obviously a very poor, very run-down town. There is a sheriff's office here, which this whole event took place right out in front of, but you can see it's pretty worn down too. And they just shot the friggin' sheriff, for Christ's sakes. That was 3 members of the Del Lobos gang. Bargaining with the sheriff here for him to release one of their own, and then they turned their back on the sheriff. They had initially, obviously, reached a deal with him that allowed the prisoner to be released, and in turn they were going to pay the sheriff, but they shot the sheriff there instead. I knew that they were going to probably shoot the sheriff, and I was trying to react in time, but I wanted to see the full scene play out, let it play out for a little bit too long. That's what I've always had trouble with in those situations. I never get to the trigger quick enough, and it always results in a character dying, and because I sat there and watched it, I lost honor. But then it's also not fair because I did avenge the sheriff's death in taking all 4 of them out, and because you're too late, you don't get any honor for it. You'd think that I'd be able to get some kind of honor out of avenging the death after all, but man, what a thing to ride up on here. So it looks like it's a free-for-all here in Armadillo for the most part. Kind of the poorest of the poor almost.
Town is sick. Stay away. Stay away.
We've heard a lot of bad things about this place, and so far from what we've seen, it's all been true. The town crier there saying this town is sick, stay away. Looks like
Plague. Stay away. Stay away. The town is full of cholera. They
That's
can
right.
hardly bury the dead.
cholera is what the town is struggling with. Now, there's a saloon here, so I probably could stay in town. But I think I'm going to stay outside of town, given
Town
that,
has got sickness. Hear me.
given the
hear me
circumstances of this
now.
place.
Whole town has got sickness. Leave town if you can. Leave town if you can.
Oh, don't worry, I'm leaving town. This is the last place I want to be, especially at nighttime here. At the end of the day, it looks like there's no control over this town. From my initial observations here, this town is run by two different things: cholera and the Del Lobos gang. Both of those things seem to have a stranglehold on this place. I've seen enough of Armadillo. I've got a taste of the layout and kind of what it has to offer. There's a store, and we saw the saloon there as well. So now again, we want to try and There's a random corpse over here I want to check out first. Basically try and explore some more and open up this map a little bit. I might have to set up camp and call it a night. It's getting really stormy here. There's a corpse out here. I'm a little bit...
Okay, partner.
confused about that. Man, this is a bigger region than what I initially thought. Try and set up camp and just kind of wait for the storm to pass. We'll sleep till morning and Matt Evelyn Miller, the Evelyn Miller, the writer I grew up with, Dutch's favorite, even though I never really understood a word of what he said. In the flesh, both humbler and more pathetic than in Dutch's imagination. Bit of a sad man looking for something or other. Maybe John will come to appreciate Evelyn as Dutch really did. Well, we outlasted the rain. It's a really nice morning. We were able to get some sleep, and now we can get some food in our bellies here as well. Man, I've really come to love that setup camp feature. Come to use it a lot more too. All right. So now we've had a good look at the McFarland Ranch. We at least kind of introduced ourselves a little bit there. We went to the Armadillo region. Really not a whole lot to see there other than utter depression and madness. So again, I want to try and stick with the perimeter of New Austin. I want to kind of stick around the border, see kind of how far it runs. I really would just want to get this place mapped out a little bit better. So those mountains, those cliffs in front of us here, I think that that's going to be the border of the map there, I predict. And I think it's against this north border here that we'll find what we're looking for in relation to this treasure map. So let's open the treasure map. Besides just kind of generally exploring New Austin, this is really why I'm here. So this is what the Menda treasure map says. I think I missed this before. My life is threatened daily and the whole world seems pitted against me. I have been hunted for many years and charged for numerous crimes of which I am innocent. Many brave fellows, not a coward or a liar among them, have died for riding with me. I fear betrayal and am constantly looking over my shoulder. I'm hiding these personal effects for safekeeping until I am able to prove my innocence and will be living with my wife and the Tatum brothers, the last loyal friends I have left. Otis Miller. Otis Miller is like the Jesse James of Red Dead Redemption 2, and I think that's kind of the person that Rockstar intended to model him after, or rather he is modeled after. Somehow those two hermits got their hands on this map that he made. Otis Miller is a famous gunslinger around this time. Probably one of the most highly touted outlaws, besides maybe some of the characters in the Vanderlyn gang. So the tracks run just above us there, and you can see that that is kind of the border of the map. I'll ride to the top where the tracks are, and maybe we can kind of follow the tracks along here. Little steep there, but I know Clutch has got it. There we go. Now we just have to hope that a train doesn't come and truly knock me on my ass. Kill Clutch in the process. We've seen enough horse abuse. Pretty soon the friggin' ASPCA or whatever the hell they're called is going to be contacting me.
Easy now.
If I continue to follow the tracks, it's going to take me kind of right back towards Armadillo. So I don't want to do that. Let's just continue to follow the perimeter of the map all the way around. I know we're kind of in brush here. This is kind of a tough area to work through. It's going to be trying on my horse, and I think the heat and whatnot of the area might drain me a little bit. Whoa. But I am confident we will make it through without too much cactus stuck to my ass. I say as I ride through endless cactus patches. Damn, New Austin goes a lot deeper than I thought. And there's the continuation of our Evelyn Miller mission, finally marked with an icon through our index on our main map. So now at least we have a goal of where we can continue the John exclusive Stranger missions. And it's not too far from Uncle, which is good because hopefully we can get back to continuing the story. There's a path that starts here. Boy, oh boy. So now that we've read the back of that mended treasure map, we know that the reward that we're going to get for finding this treasure is obviously a valuable once belonging to Otis Miller. Being a gunslinger, you can kind of imagine what that may be. Based on that, I'm anticipating obviously some sort of a weapon now, whether it be a revolver or maybe some type of a repeater or a rifle. Albeit it's probably a pretty unique weapon. I get that each treasure map is going to have a different find. Some of them are more in-depth than others. Some of them kind of revolve around stranger missions. So, you know, completing those ones might yield a greater result, a greater reward. But I think this is a good place to get started. As a rookie treasure hunter, you know, there was only 2 pieces to this map. The pieces of the map were easy to acquire, you know, just from the 2 hermits. So this path is going to lead further out west, which is really the direction that I want to go here.
Hola, pendejo! You're going to help us with our tiger practice.
Oh, son of a bitch. These guys are everywhere. I thought those Skinner Bros were going to be bad. Apparently not.
First, he's a moving target.
Man, when Del Lobos attacks, do they ever attack? That's the second time since we've been in New Austin that the Del Lobos gang has ambushed us, and both times we were largely outnumbered, probably 6 or 7 to 1 there easily. Okay, we're going even further west here. We just keep going further and further into New Austin. This is another place that I kind of recognize. Kind of.
Saddle.
Not sure who lives here. Don't know that I want to
Okay, boy.
stay long enough to find out. Basically, this is the Pleasance House. Boy, oh boy. Just take some of these paths through. Let's have a look at that treasure map again. I'll show you kind of what I'm looking for here in finding this, so you can see how there's 2 numbers. There's a 1 and a 2. And you can see that the border kind of comes straight across here, and then it kind of goes up. Oh, witness for murder. I must have killed an innocent when I was doing the shooting against the Del Lobos gang. You know, I lost a little bit of honor there, and I was wondering why that happened. And it's all coming together now. It's okay, that crime scene is pretty far away here. So what I mean is, you see how this this border here goes straight across. I'm looking for an area where, again, the border goes straight across and then juts up like this. That'll be a dead giveaway to me that that's where I'm looking. That's the right place that I'm looking for. I know that this treasure is found in New Austin. I know that for a fact. Just a matter of finding the right place here. And I actually thought we would have come across it already. I don't know why. I could have sworn it was a lot closer to Armadillo, but the further west we go here, the more map we open again. So there is a unfortunately, the further west we go here, the closer we get to Mexico, though, as well. So I guess it's a little bit of a trade-off. Well, south more so, but this is some sort of a graveyard. I'm not sure if it's for us gringos or not. New Austin sticks with the theme of every state being so different from the next. I mean, really, when you look at each state, they're so unique from each other. They feel like different states. You know when you're in West Elizabeth, you know when you're in New Hanover, Lemoyne, and now New Austin. We've just got more land. Like more homesteads and stuff, farm cabins and whatnot. Some more privately owned stuff out this way, but I'm heading back out to the border here, the state lines. That's what these black things are. I mean, really, they're the borders of the map, but those are really the kind of the state boundaries. Unfortunately, this particular boundary up here, I can't cross to the other side because there's nothing there. That's really what they represent. And if I cheated correctly, and if I'm looking at this map correctly, okay, so you see two X's.
Hey.
What the hell? Oh. There's some sort of an animal or something stalking me down there and scaring my horse.
Not the time, my boy.
Probably a snake or something, who knows. Anyways, you see two axes on the map. I wish I could point it out here. It would be a lot easier, but I'll see if I can zoom in a little bit here. There's the first axe, and there's the second axe. So I'm thinking it's likely a cave system. Oh, for Christ's sakes.
Great.
Good Lord. There's too much wildlife around here. Oh my God.
Hey, buddy.
What is that? What's coming out? Oh, Jesus. No wonder you're so damn scared. Holy Christ, not the first time I've had to survive a cougar attack. Probably won't be the last, but they don't get any easier, do they? I was wondering why my horse was getting so scared there. Anyways, those two X's are close to that black line, which I think is the state line, the border. And it would mean that there's some sort of a cave entrance that's marked by each of those X's. So it looks like you can really go in either side of the cave. Okay. Reason I can't go any further there is because that is the border.
Easy now.
Now, the border juts up here. You can see it goes up a little bit here, so we might be getting... close here. We know we found it really if we come across a cave. I tell you, this has been a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. Even having cheated. Yeah, I swear, it's got to be like some sort of a cave. See, there's north representing north, so it's got to be... If it's in New Austin, it's got to be somewhere along this north borderline here. On the map, it comes along like this, and then it juts up like that. That's why I'm thinking we could be getting hot here.
Hey, easy.
These cliff faces are a dangerous place to be riding my horse because it's very easy to slip. I'm expecting to just see some sort of a cave entrance or something. Clutch has actually done a good job navigating this area so far. Kudos. Once I find this damn cave, I'll be satisfied with our progress, but that's obviously the border again. This is, okay. Jesus. Oh my god. Still nothing.
Blow it.
This is Rack Skeller Fork. It's gotta be around here, yeah. Okay, so I peeked a little bit again. Looks like it's right about here. So it looks like as I was exploring kind of the border there. I must have missed it coming up north of the out of Armadillo, but it allowed us to explore all the way out here.
Calm down.
You're on my land, and I ain't too fond of it. Now go.
Okay, relax.
You ready, boy?
This is another
I
area
feel of you now. Time to go.
that I distinctly remember from the first game. That land back there, that guy just kicked us off of. What's it called? Rathskeller Fork, yeah. Definitely familiar to me. Okay, so we'll follow the GPS now because it's going to take me south and open up the far western portion of New Austin. At least now, when we're zooming in New Austin and we're given places to go and icons and stuff, we actually we've scoped out the area. I know a lot of these places now. Obviously, I don't know it like the back of my hand like I do places like Lemoyne, but this was a good introductory exploration of the New Austin region. We got the John exclusive Stranger mission underway. That's something that we'll definitely continue and do the next part of in our next stream. Just gotta get this freaking treasure. I mean, really, with in terms of doing more of these treasure maps, forget it. If this is going to be my experience trying to find them. I remember, I think the Jack Hall Gang treasure map is the first treasure map I received in this game. I spoke a little bit about this in one of my last streams. And I just remember taking one look at the treasure map and being like, well, this is hopeless. I mean, they're not rocket science to figure out. Okay, so I actually thought that was the far corner of the map there, Rathskeller Fork, but apparently not. It continues to go west there. It doesn't look like a whole lot further, but there's definitely a little bit more there. And then we still have this whole southern region of New Austin, largely clouded, that we'll have to clear up. I don't want to kill too much time here. I don't want a lot of filler. I just want to find this location and call it. This is a familiar area. That building there is super familiar. Oh, that cactus? You see that one right there in between the rock and the other rock? Man, that cactus is really familiar. I remember that from Undead Nightmare. A joke. You're kind of coming to the end of my stream when the jokes start getting really bad and dragged out. Then we're kind of coming to a halt. You see that bird up there? I'm just kidding. Not one of the more kind of edge of your seat streams here, but I'm glad we were able to do what we did. And before we close out here, I'll kind of tell you what my plans are going forward, kind of what I have option wise. And again, if you have any more ideas on things you'd like to see me cover in this playthrough before we call it quits, or again, if you have any information to share, if anybody knows like when the name of the last mission, or if I'm coming up to the last mission, because I don't want to. start a main story mission not realizing that that's kind of the last one to jump into before we don't have a chance to go back, like the point of no return kind of thing. So I don't want to get to that point having left things unfinished that I want to complete. So if anybody knows what mission it is that I'm going to hit where I can't go back from that point where that's kind of it for the game, let me know. Basically, just talk to me. Leave comments down below. I'm lonely. God, if I have to sell it that way, so be it. Okay, so again, some kind of a cave. Again, I'm not seeing too much here. But if there is a cave around here, I'm gonna be the dude that finds it. Just gotta hurt my horse a little bit first. Don't fall. Get there, get there, get there, get there. Oh. Oh, Jesus. Mary and Joseph. Watch, the cave's probably like over here or something.
Whoa now.
Really? I still can't get up there, eh?
My boy.
Holy moly. Basically, at this point, forget this fucking treasure. Honestly. It's not there, though. It's not there. It's in a cave. It's not up there. I probably can't get there because I can't. I remember being here. I remember. Okay, there's the cave. Holy Christ. That has got to be one of the most well-hidden secrets that we have come across in this game so far. And the only thing that gave it away for me, was the picture of the little golden revolver there you can see on my mini-map. That's telling me that there's a unique special weapon in the area, and so that kind of gave away which area to look here. So this, oh shoot. This is supposedly where Otis Miller, very famous gunslinger comparable to Jesse James, has hid some of his belongings. I thought this was the cave. I'm an idiot. Never mind, we have not found the cave yet. Okay, I can confirm we have located the cave. Affirmative. Oh my gosh. Doy, I feel like I'm a fucking... Ugh. Okay, so it's not up there. Screw this little path. This is the cave that we've been looking for the entire time of the famed Otis Miller. This is probably one of the locations that he hid out while he was an outlaw. But just kind of north, straight north of where it says Cholla Springs, and really due northwest exactly from Armadillo, just to the west of the Twin Rocks region. It's getting dark out, so I don't want to miss my opportunity to explore this little cave. I thought it would be a fairly deep cave, like a really like cavernous kind of cave, like the kind of cave that a black bear will sleep in, and I thought it was going to extend like back into the rock quite far. This is really just like a little cubby hole, like enough room for Otis to have probably just like slept. There's lots of characters in this game that share similarities to real-life counterparts. In this particular instance, Otis Miller, comparable to Jesse James. We saw Nikola Tesla with Marko Dragic. The American Dream Stranger mission that we did last time with the serial killer following those horrific crimes that he committed. Interesting, one of my viewers pointed out similarities to Edgar Allan Poe in terms of some of the crime scenes and his hideout and just kind of his poetic nature a little bit. So interesting. Okay, so here is the weapon. This is Otis Miller's revolver. Very early on in the game, we did the gunslinger missions where you have to track down like 6 gunslingers and take pictures of them. Because of that, we were able to get a couple really unique one-handed weapons. So we'll add Otis Miller's revolver to our collection of unique guns. Just recently, we found the rare shotgun, which is a unique weapon obtainable from the Hermits. And interestingly enough, to go along with Otis Miller's stash of, looks like he's got a bunch of stuff in here. Clothes, looks like he's got a blanket. We found his revolver in here. And to go along with all that, he's got about 5 erotic photos. I'm not entirely sure what the hell these are going to look like, but... So these are different erotic photographs. There was about 5 that I had the chance to collect. Here they are. In no particular order. They're kind of similar to cigarette cards. And obviously during this time, men did not have the internet or magazines or whatever. And so, interestingly enough, those cards were probably very much so a real thing, kind of acting like cigarette cards, and I'm sure, you know, guys collected them, and I don't know if those photos, if collecting them will, if they have or hold any sort of value. I don't know if we'll have the opportunity to maybe sell them or something like that. That's kind of a weird find to come across. A rare weapon and 5 erotic photographs. Now I feel like seeking out this treasure was really, truly worth it after all. Okay, so those were kind of the two main things that I really wanted to do for this stream. Took me a little longer than I thought, but we ended up having to explore more of New Austin than I thought we were going to have to begin with. There's still more of New Austin that we're going to need to explore. I'm not going to do that just yet unless, of course, the story takes us there. We also have, as I mentioned before, the ties that bind that we want to finish up. And then just some other odds and ends that we can maybe do for fun, like coach robberies and getting back into some of the table games. Like I was going to go to Blackwater and maybe play some blackjack or poker or whatever. So these are all some really kind of small things that I don't mind doing. But we've really done a lot of small things for the last couple videos. So going into the next one, I really want to maybe do a couple parts of this Evelyn Miller Stranger Mission, the John exclusive. And maybe we can finally jump into another story mission once again. And then assuming that that's not the last story mission, then maybe I'll say, okay, now we can take some time to do the ties that bind and some of this other small stuff. But this is the first treasure map that we have really done anything with and seen through from start to finish. I could do some more treasure maps as well, but I don't know, just not really my cup of tea, not really my favorite thing to do, so I can't really guarantee that it's something that you'll see a lot more of. I was able to feed my horse once in this stream, and I slept and fed myself once. We spent a lot of time out in the open world, so we're probably not full here by any means with any of our cores, but we should be okay. Oh, okay, my health is pretty low. Across the board, I am not doing as well as I thought I was, but... Oh well, we'll have to finish that to, we'll have to fix that to start the next stream. Make sure to like and subscribe as I know you do every time, and I will see you on the other side.